doing? Welcome to my Monday night live. Come on in, and I'll get started with our welcome song. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Jesus is my doctor, and he writes out all of my prescriptions, and he gives me all of my medicine in my room. Come on in the room. Come on, y'all. Come on in the room. Let's get started. We got a good topic tonight. As you can see, we're going to talk about giving the wrong guy a try. And this could also go for the men. Men giving the wrong gal a try. So we're gonna get started with this real soon. Just let some people come on in the room. Come on in the room. And while they're coming in the room, I just want to give a few shout outs and say thank you so much. Thank you so much to those of you who have given. I put out a YouTube post, I guess you would say. Put out a YouTube post saying that I was collecting money on my Cash App and my Zelle for our Pastor's Appreciation. We're putting, my husband and I, putting on a concert for our Pastor's Appreciation. The concert is Saturday, and we're raising funds so that we can present him for the Pastor's Appreciation. And some of you answered the call, and I appreciate it because I know money is just not, like my mama say, don't grow on trees. You got to work for it. And I appreciate, and I'm going to give a shout out to those people after the appreciation. I'm keeping names. Hi, Dina. I'm keeping names and taking screenshots of those of you who have donated. And I will be giving you a proper shout out and a proper thank you. And I've already reached out to some of you on Instagram to say thank you. But thank you so much. I was just amazed and floored, that some of you answered the call, and I appreciate that so much because it took so much for me to even put that out. I don't like to ask for nothing. Those of you who've been with me all these years, I've been on Instagram, I've been on YouTube for about 13 years, and I don't think I've ever asked for money before. So I was so nervous putting that out. But the Holy Spirit spoke to me and say, we have not because we ask not. And the Holy Spirit also spoke to me. Hi, my. Also, Holy Spirit spoke to me and said, you don't know who want to bless you. And you don't know who I want to bless for blessing you. So thank you all. And if you don't know what I mean, look at one of my previous posts or hit me up on my Instagram if you don't know what I'm talking about. And I appreciate all Cash Apps and Zelle and all of it. Every single penny goes to my Pastor's Appreciation. Anyways, let's get to this topic, you guys, because this is a good one. This topic, I hope she doesn't mind. I just saw my sister tonight at church because we went to church earlier. And I forgot to ask her if she mind that I mentioned that she's the one that gave me this good topic. So I don't think she minds. But so Denise, my sister Denise, who I don't know what's her name. I don't know if she's my round hips on here. But my sister Denise gave me this topic about giving the wrong guy. And I use air quotes for wrong guy. Because we're going to talk about first what I don't mean when I talk about wrong guy. So let me get my little notes, you guys. I got my notes right here. And what we're going to talk about first is what I don't mean when I say give the wrong guy a try. Then we'll talk about what I mean by giving the wrong guy a try. Then we'll talk about some things that you're going to have to overcome when you do give the wrong guy a try. And you're going to see me say wrong, use the quotes wrong guy, because I don't want you to give these kind of guys. And like I say, any guys, any of my best ones out there who are guys, this could also go for giving the wrong lady, woman, gal, giving the wrong woman a try. So this is what I don't mean when I say give the wrong guy a try. I don't mean a guy who's abusive, who's disrespectful, who's engaged in criminal activity, who's not spiritually compatible with you. And mind you, I said who's not spiritually compatible doesn't mean that you have to think the exact same spiritually, but you have to have some spiritual compatibility. So I don't mean that when I say wrong guy. But let me tell you what I do mean when I say give the wrong guy a try. What I mean by the wrong guy, okay, hold on, guy. I gotta come up out of this sweater. I wore this to Bible study tonight, and I gotta change. I gotta lower my air. Right now it's on 75, I think, and it's hot. It's hot in here. We keep it like on 70, but during the day I change it to 75. Okay, so when I talk about the wrong guy, hi AJ, good to see you. So when I talk about the wrong guy, I mean something that's totally different than what you think in your mind, what you desire. Hey Denise, hey girl, hey. So when I talk about the wrong guy, I'm talking about someone who is very different from what you thought of in your mind that you want in a mate or in a husband or in a relationship. So I'll tell you, for instance, in my mind, what I wanted was, and I know many of you have heard me say this, but I wanted someone who was tall, dark, and handsome, and really black, like blue black, with the beautiful teeth. And I wanted him to be about 6'4", and I wanted him to be very well spoken. I wanted him to be able to articulate like the gods. I mean, one person who I love to hear articulate is Michael Eric Dyson. Dr. Mike, if you don't know who Michael Eric Dyson is, Google him or YouTube him and listen to him speak. I can just listen to that man speak all day. I just love to hear. I love when people know when they can articulate and when they can speak and can get their point across, but eloquently. It's like that's just mesmerizing to me, especially when a man does it. And that's what I saw for myself. Somebody who's well educated, well spoken, handsome, just all of that good stuff. That's what I wanted. Okay, my husband is handsome, but I didn't get all those things that I wanted. But that when Denise had said about that topic, I was like, that topic is perfect because I can speak on that because I say I can be an expert on that topic because I could have missed out on a beautiful relationship because I saw my husband as the wrong guy. So let's just get into this. What we're going to talk about when we talk about the wrong guy, we're going to talk about looks, we're going to talk about education, we're going to talk about personality, we're going to talk about financially, racially, disability, his possessions, all those different things, all the different categories that we could, fall under those things that we ideally want in our relationship and in our marriage, and we might have to kind of tweak or change or relax our thinking when it comes to that. As a matter of fact, I was just watching a video earlier from Sean Heineman, and Sean's channel is "It's Scary to Remarry." Y'all heard me recommend his channel before, and I recommend that channel. It's Scary to Remarry. He's really good at dating advice, and he has some very interesting podcasts and all that stuff. I was watching one of his videos today, and he, as a black man, was encouraging women, especially black women, saying that he was thankful that we had that black women that you all are loyal to them, black men, that you're loyal to them, and that you're holding out, waiting for them. But he was encouraging you that you might have to expand your possibilities, because you might be waiting on a certain guy in your mind or in your brain, in your heart, and you are limiting yourself because you're saying, he has to be this size, he has to be this education, he has to make this much money, he has to be this race, he has to be, this age, he has to be, and the more we add on to that, the further we're limiting those possibilities. So even I thought it was very interesting to hear a black man say, "We appreciate your loyalty, black women, but you got to expand, your territory." What was that? Who was that? Was that Jabez? Yeah, Jabez's prayer. Lord, expand my territory. You have to expand your territory, like Jabez's prayer. Excellent point. Excellent point, Sean. I really enjoyed that video. Let's talk about looks. And I started with looks because that's kind of like the most, that's the most, I would say, what we think of first. The first thing we see. I know as I was, growing up and as I become a young woman, I tall, dark, and handsome. Hi, Tommy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Tall, dark, and handsome. And so looks is one thing that is dearest to us first. How a person looks. And we might have to give the wrong guy a try. Because you might have a certain look in your mind and desire in your heart, and who may be there for you, the one who you may be missing out on, does not look like what you want him to look like. I was just thinking, it's so funny. Just this weekend, my husband and I were in Clearwater Beach, and we were in Clearwater at Clearwater Beach, and we had such an awesome weekend. But we were in a pizza shop, and we were sitting there eating, and my back is to the door, and Charles is facing the door. So I guess he see this couple walk in, white guy, and well, actually they Asian guy and girl come in, and he's much shorter than her. Unbeknownst to me, I didn't know this until we were walking out, and my husband walks over to their table because, again, like I told you, he never met a stranger. He walks over to their table and he says, "I see you got a tall wife," and he said, "Those tall ones are the best, right?" Hi, Krista. Hi, Krista. Welcome, welcome. And so I looked and I said, "Well, he looks shorter than her because they're sitting down now eating their pizza, and he looks shorter than her. But how does my husband know?" And so the guy says, "Yes, I see your wife. She's tall." And when we walked out, I was like, "How did you know he's shorter than her?" And he's like, "I saw him when they walked in." And he's like, "They look just like me and you. She's much taller than him." And I just thought that was just funny because that's so our story. Because my husband's much shorter than me. And I will tell you, to this day, we'll be married 17 years. We'll be married Hi, Shalette. We're married 17 years at the end of this month, April 30th. And every now and then I still say to myself, we're such an odd couple. Or I see a picture of us and I'm like, we're such an odd couple. So it's still something that I notice. It's still something that I notice, but it doesn't bother me. But it is something that still, 17 years later, I notice. Yes, bless God for marriages lasting. Thank you, Tommy. It's the Lord. It's the Lord. But look, so you might have a look in your mind that you want him to be, tall, dark, and handsome, or you want him to be, of a certain height or a certain weight or a certain waistline. That Denise, Denise like I'm slim. But now, of course, as I always say on my videos, I always say this: you have to be attracted to the person. You can't force yourself to be attracted to someone that you're not. And so I'm not saying that. I'm not saying, Denise, force yourself to be attracted to a size 38 waist 40. Denise like, no, 38, 40, no. I'm not saying to force yourself to be attracted to something that you're not. If you're a guy and you're just not attracted to big girls, I'm not saying force yourself to be attracted to big girls. Or if you are, you're a woman and you're not attracted to big guys, I'm not saying force yourself to be attracted to. But what I'm saying is, open up your heart to it. Hey, Aaron. Welcome, welcome. Yes. Krista say, I love myself a tall, thin man. Yes, Krista. I understand that. And that's what I like. Denise and I are a lot alike in our likes, and that's what I like, a tall, thin man. But that ain't what I got. But so I'm just saying, open up. And I like a little stomach. So, Shalette, are you saying you like a little stomach like you like them to have a little stomach? Or are you saying you like a little stomach like no stomach? Because I have a friend, I have a girlfriend, and she like herself a stomach. She like herself a man that got some girth, some stomach, And I know some women like that who are like, they like big guys. They're like, I like big guys, But that's and I'm only Chris, you only 5'3". I knew you weren't that tall, but wow, 5'3". So, but what I am saying, I do believe that men have to be attracted to the woman that that they want to be with, and women, we have to be attracted to the man that we're going to be in a relationship with. I totally get that because I just can't imagine. I like big guys and balls. AJ, did you get what you like? Is your fiance a big guy and bald? Um, so yeah, you have to. I'm just saying, open up your mind to it. AJ say no and no. See, AJ is a very good example of what I'm talking about. No, a lot, but something. Oh, okay. See, Shalette like a little belly. Shalette like a little belly that she can hold on to. Okay. And I prefer no belly, but my man's got a belly. Now he didn't have much of a belly he didn't have no belly when we met 30-something years ago. But when we married 17 years ago, he had some belly, but not as he's heavier now. But ladies, gentlemen, we like what we like, and there's nothing wrong with that. But open up your mind and your hearts to preference is important, but it shouldn't trump other important things. Attractiveness is a good thing and important, but not the only thing. Yes, Tommy. Exactly. And perfectly said. And that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying is that we like what we like. And who knows why we're attracted to certain things. That's something that's very intriguing to me. Why are we attracted to certain things? Why is it that I'm attracted to, this and you're attracted to that and Tom is attracted to one thing, Aaron's attracted to another, Denise is attracted to another, AJ is attracted to another, Shalette is attracted to another, Krista is attracted to another. I don't know. It's like that really intrigues me. Traction. Why? But don't let that trump other things, I tell the men I carry all the weight in the relationship. So yeah, why are we attracted to certain things? But don't let that trump. You come across a good woman who loves you, who caring, who looking out for you. She comes from a great background. She's all the things that you want, but she's heavier than you want. I'm saying don't let that stop you from that being a possible great relationship. And same way with ladies. You find a guy and he's funny, he's well dressed, well kept, he makes good money, whatever things are important to you. He's a man of God, whatever's important to you. But he ain't a size 28 waist. He might have a size 38 waist, about size 48 waist. 48. Sometimes it's what you were raised around as the good thing, but you learn as you get older. I think that aids in what we're attracted to. TV environment, church. Exactly. Exactly. I do agree with that, Tommy. I think a lot of it is how we grew up. You know, if you're endeared to your mom and your mom got some hips and thighs and butts, that might be what you endeared to. You know, if grandma had some belly and some breasts, and you know you would lay your head on and take comfort on grandma's bosom, then that might be what you're attracted to. You know, so yeah, a lot of it, like you say, media, social media, church, you know, all those things. But yeah, so I'm gonna move on from looks because I still got a whole lot of stuff on here to talk about. We got a whole lot to talk about, but when it comes to looks, y'all just don't just focus on just looks. I believe so many women missing out on some good men because they're stuck on these internet look or the social media look, or before social media we stuck on those looks from entertainment and TV and all, you know, all of that. But like I say, my husband, when he came over and asked me if I wanted to dance 36 years ago in the club, he was not the look that I was, and I immediately thought no. When he asked me could he have this dance, my first thought was no, you too short. And then I gave the best answer that changed the total trajectory of my life. My first thought was, because I was sitting down, and my first thought was, you too short. And I think I probably had that look, that you too short look on my face too. But then I was like, he was handsome and so polite. He was like, excuse me, ladies. And then he was like, may I have this dance? And so it was the politeness. He was handsome, but that politeness just drew me. So changed the trajectory of my life when I said yes to the dance. Okay, so let's go move on to education. Okay, educationally, there might be some difference there educationally as far as don't be intimidated if he's more educated than you are, and don't be snobbish about it if he's less educated than you are. Again, I understand we have our wants, we have our likes, we have our standards, and that's okay. But don't sleep on a man who doesn't have the same education as you have. Perhaps you have a PhD and he has a GED, but what is he doing with that GED? You know, he might have a trade. He might be, you know, really good with his hands. I mean, when it comes to making some money. So yeah, don't sleep. Don't think he's the wrong guy just because, or vice versa. Now, usually it doesn't really pertain to men because men could care less. Most men could care less. Whatever educational level they are, they basically care less what education level their woman has. Good things come in small packages. Yes, yes, exactly. I like good conversation. Exactly, Shalette. Exactly. Because sometimes you can get good conversation from somebody who got a GED than somebody with a PhD. Well, it is it snobbish to ask for a basic subject verb agreement though? The conversation has to flow. No, Tommy, it's not. It's not snobbish. It's not snobbish. It's not about the education though, because Lord knows I know some people who have education and some of them still can't spell, can't write, and some might can't even articulate. So and then you have some people who don't have all the degrees and letters behind their name, who can engage in conversation and keep the conversation flowing, and they know subject verb agreement, and they know spelling and grammar and all of that stuff. So no, there's nothing wrong with asking, you know, that to be able to have a good conversation that flows, you know, and it depends on what your likes and your needs are. Because for me, that was very important. It wasn't important what my husband's education was. Education isn't always in exactly. It's not always an indication of intelligence. But because it didn't matter to me what my husband's educational level is, my husband had some college. FAMU, Rattlers. But his education. But it was about, can he have a conversation? Is he intelligent? Um, I care about the education level of a lady. There's nothing wrong with caring about that. Even all of these things, Aaron, there's nothing wrong with caring about the education level of a woman or education of a man. What I'm saying is, though, give the wrong man or wrong lady a try. You know, you come across a woman who just does it for you, floats your boat. She's intelligent, all of this. But hey, maybe she only has a high school education, or maybe she has an AA. You know, or perhaps maybe she has a bachelor's. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with, like I say, having our preferences. There's nothing wrong with caring about a woman or a man's education level. Nothing wrong with that. But it's about, like I say, one thing trumping the when all other things line up about what you're looking for, but we're allowing certain things that don't line up with our list, that don't check off on our list. We're allowing that to hold us back. You know, that's what I'm talking about. But tell me, Aaron, what is it? I guess what is it that you care about a woman's educational level? Like, is there a certain education level that you wouldn't talk to later? Like, if she doesn't have what an AA, BS, masters, whatever, is it is there something that would prevent you from talking to that? I'm just curious. And tell me, some things can be learned together later. Once together. Some people aren't exposed to the same opportunities, resources. Exactly, exactly. Yes, I'm curious. Excuse me, y'all. Whew, hi. I need to get up and change my air, but I don't want to get up in the middle of the live. I should have done that before. So educational level. I have a, and then Denise knows I have a cousin who kind of fits all of these different categories. Where my cousin, she's a PhD, uh, female, black, um, and she married and tall, and she married a white guy who's much shorter. Her man is shorter than her, more shorter than her than Charles is to me. But you know, she married a man who's much shorter than she is. Educational level, far as I know, I think high school. But however, he's smart when it comes to business. This man owned businesses, and you know, and has provided a wonderful um, financial life for her. So she gave the wrong guy a try because her children, she two children. Her children are from black men. She was married to black men, a black man. But this marriage is, she's been married quite a few years. This marriage is to a white guy. She gave the wrong guy, again, like I say, air quotes, the wrong guy a try, and been married for many, many, many years. Successful marriage, successful business. She's getting ready to retire. She's a school teacher getting ready to retire. And like I said, she's a PhD, and her husband, I think, as far as I know, just a high school diploma. So that's just an example of not only is she taller than him, she's much more educated. But he's a hardworking and a great provider. Um, Personality. We're moving on to personality. You might have personality differences. When I say give the wrong guy a try, your personality might not be his personality might not be what you envisioned in your mind. Whether he's more serious than you thought, or maybe he's more playful than you thought, or maybe he's more gregarious than what you're used to. My husband, sometimes I'm an introvert, and sometimes he makes me uncomfortable. But I'm thankful. It's a good uncomfortable. It helps pull me out. Let me see. Hold on. Let me read. Let me read Aaron's, and I'm gonna get back to Charles. Not as far as degrees, but knowledge of things like black issues, political issues, money issues, things like this. I like to be compatible with her. Extrovert versus introverted, Denise. Okay, Aaron, that's good. Okay, yes. Like you say, being able to be compatible with her and have knowledge of things, to be able to talk about more than just surface issues. But like you said, can you talk about black issues, political issues, educational issues, financial issues, world issues? So I get it. I get it. Denise, yes, extrovert versus introverted when it comes to personality. My husband makes me uncomfortable. You guys, I'm telling you, we've been married 17 years. You think I'd be used to it? But no, I'm still, like I said, when we were at Clearwater Beach, and we were in the, we were leaving the restaurant. I'm headed towards the door. My husband veers off and go over to the people's table, and I'm like, where is he going? Why is he bothering those people? That's what us introverts always think. Why are they bothering people? Why are you all bothering people, Denise? Oh, Crystal, I'm gonna read your comment. But so he veers over there and then he talks to the guy about his tall wife and how great it is to have these tall wives. And so I'm just giving that example of personality wise that there may be big differences. But just because of personality or somebody, or vice versa, somebody may be more introverted and you're extrovert. Maybe, like I say, you're much more outgoing. Maybe you like to get out into the world, and maybe she hasn't been exposed to getting out into the world, or vice versa. Maybe women, you're well traveled, and maybe he has not had the opportunity and the resources. People love us. Yes, yes, Denise. We do. We do. Y'all make us uncomfortable, but we do love you. Let me see what Crystal says. The men here in upstate New York love women that are tall, but must have long legs. They go nuts for a woman like that. Krista, it has been my experience since I was probably 16 years old when my legs started sprouting. No, my legs really started sprouting when I was probably about 12. But by the time I got 16 years old, my legs started sprouting, and I was 6 feet. By the time I was in the eighth grade, I think I was 6 feet. No, maybe ninth grade. Ninth grade, I was 6 feet, and then between ninth and 12th, I got to 6'2". That all the short men, all the short men like me. I won't say all of them, but most of the guys that like me were short. And I'm like, where is my tall knight in shining armor? Why are these short men attracted to me? And I ended up marrying a short guy. I say short. Charles don't think he's short, but he's short to me. But I guess maybe to average height women, he's tall. But to me, he's short. So yes, personality. You might have somebody with a drier humor than you like, or maybe somebody's more stoic, or maybe somebody, like I said, more outgoing, extroverted. Maybe they make you feel a little uncomfortable. Like my husband still makes me feel uncomfortable because he's gonna talk. He ain't gonna pass by nobody without speaking. He's gonna talk. He's the one that's talking in the elevator. He's the one, and I'd be so uncomfortable. But it's okay. It's okay. It works. It works. So I'm just encouraging you to give the wrong guy or the wrong girl a try, even when it comes to personality differences. Financially, when hey, you might be a woman that, hey, you got your money together. Says, girl, go get your money. You might have your money together. You might have your finances together. You might have your credit together. And there's absolutely, like I say, nothing wrong with wanting someone who either match what you have or provide even more and to enhance your life financially. There is nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with that. Men like to climb trees, that's what it is. Men like to climb trees, maybe that's what it is. Aaron, I never understood it. I'm like, okay, the short girls who 5'2", 5'1", 5'2", barely 5 feet, taking up all the tall men. Because when you see men who are over 6 feet, they women come to about their belly. I was like, why y'all won't leave the tall men for us tall women? And these short men always attracted to us tall women. They don't want the 5 feet. They want somebody 6 feet. That's what it is. Men like climbing trees. I guess so. That's hilarious. But financially, like I said, there's absolutely nothing wrong with, ladies, 6 feet and over. I'm 6'2", and my daughter's 6'4". My goodness. But financially, again, there's nothing wrong with especially ladies, we like security. That's one thing that's big to us is security. And what's part of security is financial. Financial is part of security. But what I'm saying is don't just overlook someone merely. You know, they got a lot of great qualities about them, but you discard them, disregard them because of financial. I know you tell me that that financial habits. That's a tough one. Yes, Tommy. Like I know it's a tough one, but what I'm saying, all things being equal, wherein there that person has a lot of great qualities. Yeah, y'all shorties, Krista. I always want to take out the tall men. But yes, back to Tommy. Yes, that women like security. Yes, and men want to be able to provide and not feel like it's for nothing. I love that. I love that men like to be able to provide. And that's the thing that I'm talking about. Let discard because he's blue collar instead of a white collar. Excellent, Denise. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Okay, let me see if I can articulate here what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is we like to feel secure, and financial is a part of what makes us feel secure. However, don't just discard a man because, like you say, he's blue collar rather than white collar. Because number one, blue collar guys can make some great money. Yes, blue collar guys can make some great money, and but it's about your heart. It's about how well you know what to do with the money. It's about your heart when it comes to giving and being generous. Because you could have somebody, we're just gonna put some numbers out there. You got somebody who made, just say we're gonna say 150,000 a year. I don't know these days what's considered good money, and I don't know what's considered, you know, I don't know what's considered good money. But just say, you got a man who's making 150,000 a year, 200,000 a year. But he's in debt over his head and he's stingy. And he's stingy. But then now you got the blue collar and he makes about, 80,000 a year, blue collar. But he's smart with his money. His credit is in the 800, high 700s, 800s. He's smart with his money. He's done been working for years and he got that 401k and it's stacked. And he's not only 401k, but he's got a savings. He's got a credit score. He's generous. He pays his tithes and his offerings. So now your family is going to be even more blessed. So it's about that. To have a dollar call, I mean, a collar is is a blessing, especially in today's world. Yes. So it's about them being financially and fiscally responsible. It's about um, do they are they generous with their money? It's about are they responsible with their money, and it's not so much about whether they white collar, blue collar, and whether they make 80,000 a year or 200,000 a year or even 45,000 a year. It's about generosity and good habits and good financial spending habits. So just think about that when you have a certain number in your head that he must make. It's not all about what he's made. It's about what he spends and how he and what he does with what he has and the generosity of his heart. Racially, again, I told you I was watching Sean early on. It's scary to remarry, and he was saying how much he appreciate the black women holding the black man up, lifting the black man up, waiting for black men, but you are severely um, limiting yourself if you don't open yourself up to other races or ethnicities. Now, if you say nope, this is the only way I go, this is only for me, then hey, to each his own. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But I'm just saying we limit ourselves. We limit ourselves uh, when we are not open to other races or ethnicities. So you might want to give the wrong guy a try. um, Disability. There might be, there are men and women out there with disabilities. And I'm always so intrigued and delighted when I do see abled people with disabled people. When I see abled love with disabled love, I don't know. That just I don't know why it just does something to my heart because it just lets me know that that person was not limited by the more able person wasn't limited in their thinking as to what love's supposed to look like. And I don't know why that just does something to me when I see that, and especially when they go into the marriage with the disability, the person didn't become disabled during the marriage, but someone you too, Krista. Yeah, it just does something. I don't know why. It just does something to my heart when I see an able person with a disabled person. The differently abled community is always booed up. The love is strong. I love that. I did see that term somewhere before, Tommy. Differently abled community. I forgot that I did see that term, and I love that term. I even love that term because it's so apropos, the differently abled, because it's not so much abled and disabled, we're just differently abled. And I love that. I love that term. Thank you for reminding me of that. But it just does something to my heart, especially like I said, when you go into the marriage with the person all being differently abled, and I'm like, oh, look at love. Maybe because I love love. Maybe that's why it just does something to me because I love love, and I'm like, look at love. It's not constrained by, can this woman walk or can this man walk or does he have um, full motion of his legs or use of his legs or her legs, or I don't know, just does something to me. Just to know that I chose to go into a differently abled relationship, and I love that. So that's just something I'm just saying. Again, like I said, that's a lot. It's a lot. I know I can imagine it's a lot to take on. Let me see. I was hit on by a blind was I guess this blind lady one time. She did the Ray Charles on me. She grabbed my wrist and asked if I was with someone. So Aaron, I don't know. Now I don't know if she was serious or just like joking with you, or whatever. But what's your thoughts on that? Like, if she was serious, is that a no for you? Was that a totally no for you, or had you been if you were attracted to her, would that have even been a consideration? Or would that definitely like no consideration at all? I'm just curious. Like I said, I just love to ask people questions because I'm curious about love. I love love. Um, but I can imagine it's a hard. I follow it. Interabled YouTube couple, the Clemens. Oh, see, I've never heard of the Clemens. I follow. Dang, roll with. Dang, who roll with? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Somebody in the comments probably gonna say roll with Krista and something. Roll with charisma. I don't know. I can't remember, but I watched them, and but I love watching that, seeing that. The Oh, she said she followed Clemens too. Cole and Charisma, yes, yes. Thank you, Tommy. Cole and Charisma, yes. I love that. She married him, knowing that he was disabled. So I just love that. So she was kind of fine. I would. Oh, you would have dated her? Okay, okay. Aaron, I'm just wondering. Okay, I was wondering about that. Yeah, Denise, thank you. Yes, Charisma. So I love watching them, and I watch some other couples too. But I can imagine what you take on, the responsibility that you take on when you're talking about, you know, interabled couple. But to me, that's just got to be the deepest kind of love to say, I choose you in spite of or because of, and I will take care of you, and you don't have to worry about anything. That's beautiful. So, there are many different disabilities. Some are visible, some are not. Yes, yes. No, charisma. It's charisma and Cole. Yes. Hi, Sam. Yes, charisma and Cole. And so it's a lot. And some disabilities are visible, and some are not at all. But I'm just saying, expand your mind. Open up your heart uh, for the possibility. Don't just discard. Don't just discard or disregard someone simply because there is a disability. There is a lot of thought. I know that has to go into, is this somebody I would want to date? Is what if the relationship move forward? Is this something that I can um take do the rest of my life? Don't, to me, don't start something you're not gonna finish. If you know that this is a no for me, an absolute no, then don't start something that you're not gonna finish or continue. But yeah, it's a thought. It's just a thought. It's just a thought. Also, the wrong guy, possessions. I wrote down here possessions because the wrong guy might not have the possessions that you desire. Uh, the wrong guy, he might not have the house. He might not have the. You might not be driving the car that you want him to drive. He might not dress the way you want him to dress. That's a big thing. We talked about looks, but that's kind of in that looks category. But sometimes we as women we would discard a man or disregard or whatever simply because he don't dress the way we would like him to dress. My husband still don't dress the way I wish he would dress. I'm slowly getting him there, but you know, you don't just don't just discard because they don't have the possessions or the look or the dress. You might have the house, he might not have the house. Now, if you don't have, you have to look at the totality of the situation. What was your situation? Now, you 50 years old, 55 years old, and you don't have anything. Why don't you have anything? Okay, because you divorced your wife and your wife took everything, or you said, you know what, I just want out of this marriage. You can have it all. I know somebody like that. Well, I know a guy who was like, I just want to get out of this marriage. You can have it all. He signed the house, everything over to my friend. So you got to look at the totality of the situation and why don't you have anything. But if it makes sense, why he doesn't have something or why she doesn't have something at a certain age, or a certain time period in their life, if it makes sense, then you know consider that. Consider that. I'm going to read Thomas. Right now, it's been interesting dating, saying I moved home with mom during the pandemic. The mature woman understands my reasoning of saving. The immature woman, not so much. Plus, my mom's older. Yes, Tommy, that's very good point. And to me, that's kind of like my point I was making about, as you were typing that, it's the point I was making about possessions and making concessions for what the situation is. Because Tommy said he moved back home with his mom during the pandemic. So you look at the totality of the matter. If Tommy is a good man with a head on his shoulder, with a plan, with generosity, kindness, or whatever the things is that you're looking for in a relationship, but Tommy lives with mommy, you got to look at the whole totality of the situation. Now, is Tommy 50 years old, 55 years old? I don't know how old Tommy is, but are you 40, 45, 50, and you ain't never moved from mommy? Now that's a whole different matter. We might have to discuss why you ain't never moved from mama. But maybe mama's, disabled. And maybe you took care of mom. Whatever. So you're 35. I mean, I figure you're a younger guy. But yeah, so you gotta look at the whole situation, it's and you can look at the age, you look at the situation. Yeah, see, Thomas said he was on his own for over 15 years. So to me, a smart, mature woman, she looks at the totality of all of that and make a good decision, based on the whole matter, and that makes a difference. I don't like them flashy or wearing a 12-piece suit with annihilator gators. But I know, but some women like that. It's so funny how we like different things. Some women love that. They love the suits with the annihilator gators, matching annihilator gators. And some women like that, and that's not me either. Because I don't. That's not my thing. However, if a man, now let what's the Harvey Shoot, what's Steve Harvey's wife? I said, yeah, but oh, see, somebody just said Steve Harvey. That's Steve Harvey's fault. See, that's Steve Harvey's fault. We thought we were fresh in those heavy suits. Tommy, but this is exactly what I was about to use Steve Harvey's example. I was saying you better do like dang, good as I know his wife's name. Good, you better do like Steve Harvey's wife. She didn't care for them suits either. But honey, she got the man, and then she kind of eased him out of them suits and got him into more current fashion. See, that's what the wise woman does. See, the unwise woman say, you in them suits and them annihilator gators. No, I don't want to talk to you. But if he got all those other characteristics that Marjorie, thank you. See, see, when I was 35, Tommy, my mind was like that. Ask the Lord to let you keep living. 20 more years, you'll be 55. So, yes, I know Marjorie. I couldn't think of that. Thank you, Tommy. But, yeah, but Marjorie was like, hey, I don't like them suits you wearing and them annihilator gators and that square haircut you wearing and that thick mustache. But Marjorie said, but you know, but we're going to go on, I'm going to go and let you put a ring on it. Then I'm going to ease you over to 21st century. So, yes, that's what a wise woman does. But, like I said, all things considering, you got to look at what is he bringing to the table. Now, if he bringing the suit and the matching suit and the annihilator gators along with, oh, okay, thank you. But he bringing that and he ain't got nothing else to bring. That's all he bringing, and he ain't got nothing else to bring to the table. Now, that's a whole different story. Let me see. Another thing this makes me think of the conversation about boys being pushed out the house at 18, but girls can stay forever. Denise is that. Let me see. You know I'm married now, but it didn't bother. If a man stayed home. Now, if he's lazy and bumming off mama, that's one thing. But if he's home because it makes more financial sense, cool with me. Exactly. Do you read Krista comment? Let me read Krista. I like a man just a little raggedy, just a little. That's so funny. Let me see. I was my own. That's funny. Krista said, I like a man a little raggedy. Just a little bit, though. Yeah, now, you know what? Krista, I'm with you. Now, I wouldn't have thought of it like that. But I love clothes, and I love to dress. But if I was in a relationship, I don't want to be in a relationship with a man who loves to dress. I want you to dress. I want to dress you the way I want to dress you. Charles just won't let me dress him the way I want to dress him. But I don't want a man that's into fashion. That's just me. That just, I don't know. That's just a little too much for me. Yeah. See, it's like I don't want to feel like I'm constantly competing. I don't want to feel like I can't walk. When I walk out the house, he checking me out, trying to make sure I'm put together. No, I want you to do just like my man do now. My man say, "Ooh, baby, you look good." That's all I want you to say. I don't want you trying to critique me. I want you trying to suggest nothing to me. I don't want you trying to bring that to my baby. I think I saw this outfit and I want you to dress like this. I don't want no fashionista. Yeah, this exactly. I don't want no fashionista. I cannot explain it, so I just say a little raggedy. Yes, Crystal, I get it. Like, I'm so glad. It's so ironic how to explain. Like, I wish my husband was more into fashion, but I'm glad he's not. Does that make sense to anybody? It's like, I wish he was more into fashion, like, let me dress him just how I want to dress him, but I'm glad he's not into fashion. So, anyways, that was all I have right for as far as giving the wrong guy a try. But let me also, yes, a balance. But let me also talk a little bit. I'm going to end my portion, and then we can talk in the comments, and we got some more talking to do. But let me just finish up my portion by saying, since I get it, you rather him not be into fashion than be into it and then be too much. Yes. Yes, yes, Chris. Yes, yes, Sam. And yes, Krista. Exactly. Exactly. See, that's why I would have dated the blind lady because she ain't gonna try to dress me. You don't know. You don't know, Aaron. When there's a will, there's a way. When we can tell you what to do, even when we're blind, we're gonna tell you what to do. We're gonna tell you how to dress, even if we can't see what you're wearing. Oh, but anyways, ladies and gentlemen, when you give the wrong guy a try or the wrong girl a try, there's some things that you're gonna have to overcome. Let's talk about some things you're gonna have to overcome. With these iPhones, they may know what you're wearing without even seeing exactly. It's gonna read it out to them. But see, I bet she got some sense of style that says maybe smell and touch. Baby, this don't feel right. Go change. Women will dress a man regardless. I know that's right. She ain't got to see, like you said, she's like, that felt a little rough. Aaron, baby, go change. Just feel like you wearing some wool. Listen, you guys, what you gonna have to overcome. This is what you're gonna have to overcome when you giving the wrong guy a try. You got to overcome worrying about other people's opinion. Let me repeat that. You're gonna have to overcome worrying about other people's opinion. When you give somebody of a different race a try, people gonna have their opinions, and people are not gonna like it, and people go side eye, and people go stare at you. When you give, if you were interabled, if you were in an interabled relationship, I know people go stare. I look. When I see what is it called? Is that what it's called? Interabled? Or differently abled? Interabled and differently able? I look. I just look because I'm interested. I look because my heart is going pitter patter like, oh. But you're gonna get people looking, and you got to overcome. Yes, you got to overcome other people's opinions, and when I tell you I know of what I speak, because almost everything I bring to y'all, I've been through it, and I had to overcome other people's opinions about my relationship and my situation, because everybody know I know everybody knows that's watching, my husband's background. And I had to overcome, what people thought of me. I'm a good girl. I had to overcome what people are going to think of me. I was 38 when I got married. I had to overcome, are people going to think I'm just desperate? That I'm just getting married because I'm desperate? I had to overcome what people thought. I had to overcome, he's shorter than I am. I had to overcome that odd couple look. Or what people might think, what traditionally a relationship look like. We know traditionally, probably 90-something% of relationships, the man is taller and the woman is shorter. I had to overcome, what people opinions about that was, and especially my husband's background. Little less about the height, thing, but yes, Tommy, there's plenty of hope. Yes, I was 38, and my husband was 40, whatever. He's, I don't know, 3 years old, 41. So yes, I was 38. So yes, I had to. Miss A, you're 38 now. Hold on. You're still young. But yeah, you're gonna have to overcome other people's opinion, because people are gonna have their opinion about your situation regardless. They're gonna have the opinion that you're desperate, or have the opinion that you should marry him because of his background, or you shouldn't marry her because or you should date her because she's a thickums, or maybe she's got 2 or 3 children, and people got their opinion about you marrying a woman that's got 2 or 3 children, or perhaps you done been married twice. Maybe you're looking for your 3rd wife, or your 3rd husband, or your 4th husband. I'm not saying I advocate all of these 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 marriages. But people gonna have their opinion about you being on your second husband or your second wife or your third. They're gonna have their opinion. You got to overcome, people's opinions. See, you have to break cultural expectations in my community, and I'm sure in many of our communities, we are expected to date only black people. Tell me what you say. About what? Yes, exactly, Sam. You have to get over those community ideas or family ideas. You got families who say you better not bring that so and so in this house, or in this relationship. Whether it's a white family who say that that blacks are not accepted in your white family, or black family and whites are not accepted in your white family, or or people might have their ideas about how your mate should look, and maybe your mate is older, then hey, you might be a man. Hey, Tommy, you say you 35, your wife might be 50. Hey, she might be a young hot 50, and you're gonna have to get over what other people's opinion about. Oh, that woman is too old for you, etc. So that's one thing. Let me see what people are saying in the comments before I go to the next one. Let me see what. Yes, Denise said that's true, Sam. Tom said no judgment. You were getting on the third and fourth marriages. We gotta talk that thing out. Yep. Choose the best man for the job. Being biracial, the cultural conversation have to happen. Yes. Come on, 50. I'm ready for whoever God has for me. Yes. Yes, 3 or 4. Yes. So yes. Now, like you say, if somebody's on their third marriage, fourth marriage, whatever, okay, you got to talk. Like I said, you got to talk that thing out. You got to use some good judgment. You got to see what was the situation. Me and my sister talk about this at times, and we talk about, okay, what would we consider like too many marriages, and there's differing opinions, and to each her own, his own. But I said for Deidre, y'all, this is Deidre's opinion now. I said a fourth marriage for Deidre would be too many. Like I say, but I can see on your first marriage, people be married right out. You can't tell them nothing. They think they grown. They married right out of high school. 18 years old, 19 years old, 20 years old. They married right out of high school. That marriage lasts a year, year and a half, 2 years. Maybe they stretch it out to 3 years. Then you get a little older, a little bit more mature. Now you in your late 20s. You marry a second time. That marriage long term. That marriage lasts 10, 15 years. But then that person, the marriage dissolves. The person leave you, whatever, marriage dissolves. Now you in your 30s, early 40s. You get now your heart broken. You on your rebound marriage. You on your third marriage because of rebound marriage. I can see that happening. I can see that, like I said, that's just me. That's just Deidre's opinion. I can see that happening. Some type of scenario like that. So for Deidre, what I would say, just if even I was single out there, I'll be third wife. Now the fourth one, it's got to be some major circumstances that makes me feel like, on the fourth wife, what happened? But that's just Deidre. But you're gonna have to overcome other people's You said, Denise, you say you know the exact situation. Yes, it happens. I know. Denise, we got cousins. We got cousins who are our ages and on their second and third husbands because it happens like that. You're hot in the tail and can't nobody tell you nothing. So you get married at age 18, and by the time you're 21, 22, that marriage gone. You get a little bit more mature. You're in your late 20s. You marry again. That marriage is basically successful. You start having kids and da 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 da. Yes, plenty of cousins. That second marriage is successful. You have kids. You get your first new house, and you get in your career, and then for some reason the marriage fizzles. The man cheats. Okay, the woman might cheat, but normally it's the man. We gonna be honest up in here. Man cheat, or he goes on and he go marry another woman. This now I'm heartbroken. Man come and he's my rebound husband, and I'm on marriage number 3. You know, and we hoping that rebound marriage works. Cause if it don't, down the road when I get my 50s, maybe early 60s, I might be on husband number 4. It happens like that, you know. Maybe they married a friend early on for tax benefits. A lot of people do that in college and ain't a bit in love. I see that exactly. Tax benefits, or they used to do it for those papers, them green cards. Men usually cheat physically. Women typically cheat emotionally. That for another month. That's a good one. That's a good one, Tommy, for another Monday. Yes, that's true. I like that topic. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. Why men and women cheat. That one's coming. I'm gonna put that in my phone. Why men and women cheat. But yes, uh, you're gonna have to overcome people's opinions about your situation and your marriage, and not base your decisions on what people's opinion. I would not be married. Like I say, 17 years, April 30th. I would not be married, believe me, if I was based on other people's opinions, even my own mama's. And I don't. My mama watch my videos, so I ain't no shade to my mama. I love her. My mama, I love my mama, and my mama love my husband. But she wasn't for it at first, and I understand. I told y'all this before. I understand it. What mother would be for her daughter married, like say my mama say some joker out of prison. So I understand it. I understand her concern. That's a mother's love and a mother's concern. But my mama, called me back later and said, "Did you made a excellent decision?" And that was just a beautiful phone call when mama said that. But people have their opinions. You know, why do people who've been married multiple times seem to have an easy time finding a new partner, and people who've been single long can't seem to find someone? That is such a good question. Yes, Denise say that part, and, and that's a good topic too. Yes, that's a good question. It's uh, a question that needs answers exactly. It's like people who constantly quit jobs. Yes, Tommy. Yes. Yes. Y'all giving some good stuff here. Tommy, yes. That is so true. It's the same analogy. People who constantly quit jobs know that they will get a job, and go on to the next one and have no problem finding a job. And then you have somebody who stays at a job for 10, 15, 20 years, and now they want a job, but they can't seem to find a job that they want. That's excellent. But to me, it comes to inhibitions. When it comes to the fear factor, it comes to what's the word? Confidence. People who constantly quit jobs, they are confident. They have no care and fear or thought about not being chosen or not. They have an air of confidence about themselves. They have no fear, no doubt. They don't stay. They not staying someplace and taking no junk. They going on to the next. And I think it's part of that is that reservation that we have. I'm talking about the person who's waiting on a relationship or marriage. You're more reticent, you're more reserved, you're waiting more on perfection. But the person who is going, like you say, a few marriages or a few jobs, they say, "Hey, let's do it." And if this don't work, I'll find another one. I don't know if that's the right attitude, but you can't tell me that's not what they're thinking. That's what they are. They're like, "Hey, if this one don't work, I'll find another one." And if that one don't work, I'll get another one. Yeah. Let me see. Too horrible. Let's see. Miss D, you talking about me. I just quit a job that I hated with nothing lined up, and I am trusting God. Yes. Confidence. Wow, that might be a little deeper. That's good. Confidence goes a long way. Some of us are too reserved. Yep, gotta let the confidence shine. Confidence. Yes, Tommy. Confidence is attractive. Not only is it attractive, it's attracting. So not only is confidence attractive, it's attracting. It attracts. It's a magnet. And so these people who go from job to job to job, they're confident that there are plenty of jobs out there. I know what I bring to the table. I know what I can do. I know what I possess. I know what I bring to this job. Y'all need me. Yeah, I need a job, but there's plenty of jobs out here. Y'all need me. So that's the air of confidence they have. And if I get here and I don't like what I see, and you are not offering what you said you're gonna offer, if when I get here and my paycheck and my benefits and the energy and the vibe don't line up with what y'all told me and what y'all presented in the interview, it's some other jobs out there, and I'm just going on to the other job. Now, I'm not saying that marriage should be that frivolous. We can't be that frivolous about marriage and the covenant and the vows that we make. But I'm just talking about the air of confidence. That confidence is attractive, and the lack of fear. I'm not going to be held hostage at this job just because I chose to come to this job. I'm not going to be held hostage to this job just because I think that there are no more jobs out there, and who's going to ever want me again? There are plenty of jobs out there. And that's, can confidence be intimidating as well? I don't think so. I hear a lot of women. I'm gonna go back up, Tommy, and read your thing. But I hear a lot of women, well, maybe people in general, but most of it's women who say this, and I've always disagreed with it, that confidence is intimidating. No, what's intimidating is what we add to confidence. What's intimidating is to be when you're overly confident. What's intimidating is when you are you say when you think it can be misunderstood. Denise said she thinks confidence can be misunderstood. I just don't think confidence is, not like you say, maybe it can be misunderstood, misinterpreted, or when people add a false confidence, when they're pretentious, with it. But real confidence is attractive, and it is not intimidating. That's just, of course, that's just all Deidre's opinion. Hey, we all got opinions. That's just Deidre. That yes, the confidence, because we add a lot of stuff to what we think confidence is. But you just said it. Just confidence is just knowing who you are. Just being comfortable and authentic in who you are, and not having to change, bend, mend, be malleable to what other people think you're supposed to be. I am totally and completely and authentically who I am, and comfortable in who I am. Yep, comfortable in your own skin. But I'm just holding. Let me look, see if let me see. Confidence shows that you know who you are. Yes, you know who you are. Yes, I like that, Denise. It can be misunderstood. Thomas says, preach Hebrews 10:35. So do not throw away your confidence. It will be richly rewarded. Yes. Yes. Don't cast your pearls to swines, for they know not the value of it. Your confidence is your pearls. Don't cast your pearls to swine. They don't know the value of it. But yes, but that was such a good analogy. That's such a good question that AJ posed. Why is it these people who have been married and multiple marriages, they can just find one mate, then the next one, then the next, wherein single people who've never been married seem like they have a hard time, finding someone. But I think it's about the attitude and the lack of fear. And like I say, hey, if this job don't produce, I'm going on to the next job. I know my value, and I know there's another job out there. It's good stuff. Good stuff. I love it. But let me get back to what. Oh, y'all, we way past the hour. Lord have mercy. Okay, let me wrap this up. What you have to overcome. Let me see what Denise says. Yeah, I think yes. When you don't understand it, confidence and or the receiver is insecure. Sometimes we. Oops. Hold the. Okay. I'm trying not to. Sometimes we try to be too perfect before pursuing entertaining the new. Yes, yes. We strive to be too perfect, like you say. No, that's not confident. You know, when you're confident, you don't strive for perfection. You always want to learn, change, and grow, but you're not striving for perfection because you know that you're enough. You're enough without perfection. Okay, let me get back to this. So, what you're gonna have to overcome, you got to overcome worrying about other people's opinion. Another thing you got to overcome is your relationship not looking like other people's relationship. You got to overcome that. Your relationship might not look like what the TV stars relationship look like. They might not look like the basketball wives and the LA wives and the all them different wives. It might not look like the Instagram relationship. Oh, y'all, I follow some people and I look at their relationship and their relationship be so sexy. And I said, oh, I'm gonna be more sexier. I'm gonna get more sexy with my husband. And I had to laugh at myself. I said, Did you are who you are, girl. But I just be like, yes. And then he said, your blues ain't like mine. But yeah, I look at I look at relationships and I said, oh, this you got to do this and ooh, and after I laugh as soon as the thought comes in, I laugh and then the thought flees. But your relationship, you got to get over thinking that your relationship will look like other people's relationship. Your relationship, you might be interabled. Your relationship might not look like the social media relationship. Your relationship might not look like the fairy tales that we've grew up on, or our children now. The Disney fairy tale. Your relationship might not look like any other relationship of people that you know around you. But you're gonna have to overcome that relationship not looking like somebody else's relationship. Hey, maybe your mama and dad have been married 50 years, 55 years, 60 years. Maybe your grandparents were married 70 something years. And maybe you getting ready to marry a man who you his third wife, or his second wife. What I'm just saying is it might the relationship might not favor or look like or mirror what what you've seen in your household or in your family or in your church. So you're gonna have to get over that of an expectation of your relationship looking a certain way. Um, Number three, you're gonna have to get over your relationship not looking like what you imagined or what you dreamt of. You might not get the dream husband, the dream marriage, the dream finances, the dream home, but you might have to give up on the dream. Doesn't mean that you can't have something, you can't have a different kind of dream. It doesn't mean you can't have a different kind of success, a different kind of successful marriage. No, I'm not saying you got to give up on wanting a loving marriage, an adoring husband, a wonderful wife, all of those things that you want. No, I'm not saying you have to give up, but you might have to change your perspective on what that relationship looks like from what you imagined. And lastly, you might have to you might have to overcome your own doubts. Your own doubts. And what I mean by that, um, your doubts about whether or not something can work, because you might have doubts about it working because maybe, like I said, you both don't, you're not equally yoked when it comes to finances, or you might have your own doubt because maybe maybe this man is a widow, and maybe you have doubts about is he really in love with you, or are you the rebound? Like I said, all things considered, you gotta know, how is he treating you? How what kind of relationship do you have? How does he seem mentally healthy? You got to consider a whole lot of other things, but you got to overcome the doubt in your mind. You got to overcome, like I said, with my own marriage with my husband, I had to overcome doubt. because of my husband's, background. I had to overcome the doubt. And how I had to do that in prayer. I had to have a come to Jesus moment and talk to the Lord. And I had to say, the Holy Spirit was like, whose report are you going to believe? And I had to believe the Lord's report, that the Lord, was blessing me with a wonderful husband and a beautiful marriage, because I had delighted myself in him. So you might have to overcome some doubt. You might have doubt about, the financial situation, or you might have a doubt about, how his family feels about you. You might have doubt about how you're gonna get along with his children. All kinds of, things that come up and issues that come up that you might have to overcome those doubts, when it comes to being, giving the wrong guy a try, or the wrong woman a try. So that's what all I have for you guys. And you all hung out with me, spent an hour and 20 minutes so far. You all are awesome. You all are so funny. Y'all give such great commentary and such great feedback, and y'all talk among yourself, and you're so supportive and uplifting. I have the best community. I appreciate y'all so much. Oh, tonight's topic was great. Yes, thank you. I appreciate that, Tommy, and I appreciate you being in the blessed place and being such a wonderful, vital part. I just love, the commentary and the feedback. Wonderful discussion. Thank you, Denise. Thank you for the topic, y'all. Anybody who don't know, Denise Young, that's my sister. And she is the one that gave me that topic, and she gave me a few more, so I look forward to tackling those. Denise, thank you for the topic. It was an awesome topic. I hope that I did it justice, and I hope that it was a blessing, to everybody that was in here, because you all were definitely a blessing to me. I appreciate you guys. I'm getting so tongue tied up because I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful for you guys. Hi, Nicole. I'm so thankful that you all give me your time, because time is precious, and it's the one thing that we can never, ever, ever, ever get back. So thank you for giving me a little piece of yours. All right, you guys. I love y'all. I appreciate you all, and we will be back, if not before, but definitely I'll be here next Monday. And I'm thinking I might go with that topic that Tommy was talking about, attraction. We might be talking about attraction. Let me see. Hold on. Yes, great Monday night topic. Oh, thank you, AJ. Thank you. More than justice, better than. Oh, thank you, Denise. Denise said more than justice, better than I imagined. Thank you. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna let y'all go. And I appreciate you all. I love you all. And those who want to stay connected, follow me over at Instagram at SoSoBlessed1, and we can dialogue. And also you can see, like, I posted some stuff. We were in Clearwater Beach, so I posted our activities over there. I posted a live over there of us on the beach and concerts that I went to. So follow me on over there. And again, thank you for those who gave to my pastor's appreciation. You sent me on my Cash App and my Zelle, and I appreciate it. And it all goes to our pastor, so that I can show our appreciation for him, because we know pastoring us ain't easy. All right, love y'all. Y'all be blessed.